The alien delegation burst into laughter when the human ship entered the diplomatic hangar. They were expecting something grand, a gleaming, alloy-polished, quantum-threaded vessel with warp signatures that shimmered like starlight. What they got instead was rust. The UNS Calypso looked ancient. Carbon-scorched hull, manual turrets, visible paneling seams. It docked with a wheeze, like an asthmatic whale, and shut down with a loud clunk. "This is humanity's flagship?" scoffed Commander Vrix of the Zalari Dominion, his antennae twitching with disdain. "It looks like it's held together by wishes and oxidized regret." Behind him, other species whispered and chuckled, some in clicks, some in hums, some in scent clouds of mockery. Only one stood silent. Captain Mara Kiane, human representative, stepped onto the platform in a simple navy blue uniform. No armor, no cybernetic implants, just a patch over one eye and a tired expression. She offered no apology for her ship's appearance. "Let's begin," she said. The conference aboard the Zalari flagship was lavish. Holo tables projected molecular trade deals. Drones floated about serving xenon-infused delicacies. AI translators shimmered in midair, echoing voices in perfect sync. The topic was tech exchange, and the aliens wanted to help humanity modernize. "Your data drives are magnetic?" sneered a Xarn technician. "Adorable. You still use combustion as auxiliary thrust." A Gluth engineer giggled, literally bubbling. Keen just listened, hands folded. Vrix leaned forward. "We believe it's time humanity adopted modern infrastructure. The offer of assistance is generous. Don't be too proud to accept." Captain Keen finally spoke. "Tell me," she said, "what do you know about the Voyager project?" The room paused. "Some primitive probe from your early history, no?" Someone offered. "Long deactivated." Captain Keen smiled faintly. "Voyager 1 is still transmitting," she said, "after 17 Earth years." Disbelief rippled through the room. "We've been exploring for a long time, long before you noticed us." "The Calypso?" She pointed behind her toward a display of her ship. "That ship you mocked was built in the year 2784 CE. It's not our flagship. It's a museum piece we pulled out of dry dock because it still runs." Vrix narrowed his eyes. "Impossible." Its systems were modular, quantum resilient, and coded in nested logic, so elegant your AI couldn't read it without crashing. Keen walked to the central console. "Your core runs on Spectranet V12, correct?" "Of course," Vrix said, chin high. "Only the most modern protocol." Kane tapped a key. Every alien screen in the room flickered, then displayed the same message. "Welcome to Spectranet V1.1 booted. UNS Calypso external override authenticated KEAENEM." Gasps filled the room. "You're running a protocol we designed 7 centuries ago," she said. "Spectranet was an old Terran military program. We released the open-source version into the void as a joke. You evolved it. Beautifully, I admit. But the Xarn technicians sputtered. That's impossible. Your people were barely interstellar then." Keen's gaze hardened. "Who told you that? The archives you found? The satellites you reverse-engineered? Let me guess they were orbiting dead moons with faded Terran markings." She leaned forward. "You don't know how old we are." Later that day, the council requested a tour of the Calypso. Vrix agreed, hoping to expose the bluff. Inside, it was worse than he imagined: wires, levers, analog backups, thick manuals printed on actual paper. It was barbaric. "Your systems lack modern interface logic," he snapped. Keen raised an eyebrow. "They lack dependency. No centralized AI, no remote override. Calypso's systems are hardened against EMP psychic interference, quantum disruptions, and even time dilation." We built it to last, because back then, we thought we'd be alone for a long time." She opened a side panel and gestured. Vrix peered inside. There, pulsing slowly in the heart of the ancient machine, was a black crystal cube, humming with energy, unlike any known signature. "What is that?" he breathed. 0-point core. Fifth, general, still stable after 700 years. Vrix stumbled back. "Your current fleets use 11th gene cores," Keen said quietly. "But they're not as poetic." Back in the council chamber, the tone had changed. No one mocked. The exam technician muttered, "If this is what they built then, what have they built now?" Finished the Gluth engineer, voice shaking. Captain Keen stood once more. "You assumed our weakness because we don't flaunt what we have. Because we don't run around with glowing holes and plasma ribbons." She turned toward the viewport, where the old Calypso still hovered. "We've had our wars. We've seen our empires rise and fall. We lost cities to nanoplagues, to AI rebellions, to black hole experiments gone wrong. We earned our rust." She faced them again. "And we're still here."